Welcome everybody to our Monday night special presents. Tonight we have a special treat with Trish and Ali sharing with us the beauty school recap. It is not, let me think now. I think Young Living has had beauty school at least 3 years, 3 times, maybe 4, I don't know. I've never gone because I'm like, listen, I did hair for 100 years. I don't want to talk about beauty. I'm done. I'm out of that industry. And yet this last time, pardon me, this last time as they were sharing all the nitty gritty, I was so disappointed I didn't go because I thought, oh my word, had I known Miss Marcella was going to be there, had I known Mary Young was going to be there, I would have paid the ticket just for that. So these ladies have graciously, excuse me, dry cough, have decided to do this. So I'm going to mute myself and we'll let them take it away.
So I'm just going to start by saying that I might go off on a tangent, so I'm sorry. But honestly, though, what it really boiled down to, and I mentioned this in the video, is that a lot of the things that were said at beauty school, I heard from somebody else. And I had heard from Jen. And I guess it's just a little bit of hearing it from someone that isn't the same person that you hear all the time that kind of makes it hit you right between the eyes. So that was something that I just wanted to throw out there. So listen to her. The saying that I kind of want to start out with is to be that beauty, there was a price that you paid for beauty, and that was fine. Now we're more looking at what's in our products. So we're not taking that sacrifice for beauty anymore. So what we'd like to start out sharing with you guys is the 5 steps that they taught us as far as our skincare products. So we're just going to jump right into skincare. And first is cleansing. That's the first step. And it's recommended twice a day. And we have 2 products that Young Living offers us. Do you want to start with the orange blossom?
Sure. Yes. So the orange blossom that we all know it comes in a 4-ounce here. And you can ounce of it, put it in a foaming pump, add some other essential oils like your tea tree or frankincense, a drop of rose, maybe some lavender, anything that you want that's great for skin support, add to your foaming pump. I bought this in January of 2017. I think I started using it in February, and a whole nother ounce still in here yet to go. And so it's 20 some odd dollars and is lasting me almost 2 years. So definitely worth it. It is also really good for younger kids in the family and for anyone who might have a few little things that pop out along their in their face. So it's definitely the one to use for your teenagers in the home. So, and it's very if you have sensitive skin as well. So, and I believe Miss Allie went to go get her.
I forgot I was show and tell, y'all. I have all my notes strung all across this desk, and then I forgot all of the products.
So go ahead.
So Art Gentle Cleanser is what I use most often. It's more for mature skin. It has a naturally occurring anti-aging from the orchid muscula. It's supporting in skin's natural pH. It does have the foaming performance, and it has natural benzyl alcohol in it, guys. This is the naturally occurring preservative. And if you were to go out and pick a bunch of things from your garden and make it into a mask and not use all of it and then put it in the refrigerator, and a week later you can't use it because you don't have any preservative in it. This has to have a shelf life. Okay. So there is naturally occurring preservative in it. Okay. So that's what the natural benzyl alcohol is. There's also the oil cleansing that we discussed, right? where you can put V6 or jojoba with skin supporting oils and cleanse your skin that way. Mm-hmm. Step 2 is exfoliate. Trish is going to talk about that.
Yes, because how many of you, if your video's up, show of hands, how many of you exfoliate first and then you do your cleanser? Yeah, totally. Me too. Been doing it for years. The number one thing she said to us, you're supposed to cleanse first and then exfoliate. So I tried it this morning in the shower, and it was really hard to not be in that pattern of, oh, I just exfoliated. Now I need to cleanse. So I don't know that I saw a difference, but that's definitely the way that we're supposed to go. The big thing with exfoliating is the fact that it takes, where did we write this down? 28 days for new skin to come to the surface. And on average, it takes about 12 days for your dead skin to slough off. And as we get older, that can take longer and longer. So you definitely want to be exfoliating. Some of them suggested every other day. For me, that's, know your skin. You'll know if it's too much or too little for you. And a little bit of this goes a long way. So it is definitely, this will last you a while. So, yes.
Yes, they definitely say weekly, but don't over exfoliate. And this should be done by men as well. Body scrubs for your skin, and then the facial scrub, obviously, for your face. Don't put body scrubs on your face. Step 3 is toning. That's suggested also twice a day. We have the Art Refreshing Toner. It removes excess residue and helps your pores appear smaller, as well as the exfoliator, the facial scrub. You can also see on Trish and I, we both did our photo facial. So the first one is our face. The second one is the vascular areas. The red parts are vascular areas. And then the third one is the sun damage. And so I think Maribel actually asked me this once, what is the toner for? I don't know, which is the reason why I didn't use it very often. And so the answer to that now is it also can help reduce the red vascular areas on your face, which can be seen here in the facial or in the photo.
And Ali, how long have you been using your toner?
Now. A while.
Yeah. So mine, sorry. I'm definitely redder than Ali is, and hers is and it's definitely folks that showed us their photos from before and the ones they took this past weekend, you could definitely see the difference. I don't use toners, and it's definitely evident.
Yeah, mine is still full to about here.
Nice.
So. Step 4, restoring. Mm-hmm. With the Art Renewal Serum, which is behind me. So we're going to caution, I do have a sweet friend that used this and broke out in hives. We don't know exactly what was in it that had that happen, or what it reacted to in her body maybe that caused that to happen. So just be careful. Spot test that. It promotes youthful appearance with I believe it's the angelica root in it?
I think it's yes.
And then it's also recommended twice a day. It penetrates deep for a good moisture. Hydrate.
Yes.
Step 5 is the moisturize.
Mm-hmm.
That's also recommended twice a day. I have both the light moisturizer and the intensive moisturizer. Light more for oily skin or for me in the summer. Intensive moisturizer for more dry skin or me in the winter. There's a bit confusion because this has a pump. This is not a pump. Okay, people don't know how to use this. You pop the lid off. It's real easy, but it's a squeeze. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's a squeeze. See how And it allows for no air to go in and dry it out. Okay. There's a ficus extract and the summer snowflake bulb and the intensive moisturizer that helps reduce the appearance of fine lines. Actually, that was in the light, sorry. And then the intensive moisturizer has the apple fruit extract, which is plant stem cells. And that helps with collagen production for new skin cells. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Trisha, but the intensive moisturizer combines the benefits of sandalwood moisturizer cream and the Boswellia wrinkle cream. And since Trish uses the sandalwood cream, she's going to talk about that.
Yes. So yeah, sandalwood comes in, woohoo, hello. Obviously not good with my computer doing this. Comes in this size, it's 4 ounces, and it's about just over $60. This tends to last me about 10 or 11 months. So it's a cream, and truthfully, I just kind of put my finger in there and I get about this much on it. So it's not much at all. I might do a little bit more if I end up using more oils. So I'll always put a drop of frankincense. I've been putting a drop of sacred frankincense. I did recently purchase some geranium, which I have not necessarily used yet, but ylang-a-lang I'm actually using, Jen. And so, or lavender if I've got too much redness going on. So I will put any of those mixed in with the moisturizer and then put it on my face.
I have a question.
Yes.
Shirley May or intensive moisturizer, what's the difference?
Well, we hadn't got to Shirley May yet.
Okay. We haven't talked about that. Yeah.
Move on.
So yes, the sandalwood obviously has the sandalwood in it, which is why it's great for your face. It is heavier, but my skin's really dry and I do love it. You can use it on other parts of your body as they get dry during the wintertime. So, but as Ali said, the intensive moisturizer is now a combination of the Boswellia wrinkle cream and the sandalwood.
And I forgot to mention, but the light moisturizer is actually light. It's very it can be very thin layer on your skin, whereas the intensive moisturizer is really a cream and it's thicker. So there is a very big difference in the texture of the product. So since Jen brought it up, the Shirley May, it is also recommended twice a day. You can use it with or without moisturizer, but the Madonna Lily in the Shirley May has the brightening effect. It helps with these brown spots that are on your facial photo. So you can see the different areas where I need to work on putting more on, right under my eyes, right here by my lips and nose, things like that. So people do it at different times. For me, my particular regimen is that in the morning, the moisturizer that I use is the intensive moisturizer because I don't want the scaly skin whenever I'm going out or I put makeup on. And then I do use my Shirley May at night. Some people like the Shirley May on and then put their makeup on over it. I like the way the Shirley May smells and I put it on at night. Even whenever I'm in the winter when I'm using light moisturizer, I will always use the Shirley May. They have done studies though with the Shirley May. So the compliant verbiage is significant improvement to the appearance of complexion, lightness, and intensity of dark spots. Sun exposure is responsible for 90% of premature skin aging, just FYI. That's just a side note. And then we also, did that answer your question, Jen, about the intensive moisturizer and the Shirley May? Okay. The Wolfberry Eye Cream obviously has wolfberries. It's something to just dab under your eyes. Don't pull because you're going to have that vascular area, if the redness in the photos, if you pull on your skin. Just dab, especially whenever you're drying as well. Masks are next. They're a weekly item. We have 3. the Art Beauty mask, the cream mask, and then the chocolate mask. Softens the appearance of fine lines, promotes hydration, promotes the appearance of younger, radiant-looking skin.
Here's what the Art Beauty mask looks like. It comes out in a little thing looking like Jason. And it's kind of soaking wet. It's in a pouch like this. So yes, Allie's got that for you. So it's in a pouch like that. It comes out, you unfold it, put it on your face. You're supposed to lay there and allow yourself to lay there and be pampered for 20, 25 minutes or so. And then they did this one night. This is the chocolate mask. They had a bunch of those that they put in a crock pot and would get out and then brush on people's faces.
And then this is our sample of the cream mask. And you use a brush for both of those last two. So the last item that I have put on our kind of spotlight for the products is the Mira Shave Oil, which, by the way, guys, smells amazing. And remember, these products aren't all for your face. So yes, I use the shave oil to shave with, but I know for a fact that April Pointer also puts it in her hair, which I've done that before also. And I've also put it on really dry skin. I tend to scratch in the middle of the night. Don't judge me. And so the back of my knees. And so that helps moisturize that area, and I don't tend to do that as much.
Yeah.
I think we also had Mary's keynote. Mary was our keynote speaker. And I think some of you saw or maybe heard about her, what she talked about. I think we had just a few points that we wanted to share with you guys in regards to that. And one of the things that really kind of spoke to me was her positive message in regards to Gary's experience. He's the only one that's done this. He's the only one that's gone out and, would look for things, go to the links that he went to provide us with product. He's the one, him and Eldon drove the truck from the Highland Flats down to Utah for distillation, all those things, like just the passion that she had in regards to Gary's experience and what he knows, and making that knowledge, speaking to the fact that the knowledge that he has about the products and has about oils and putting them together, what mixes with what, is a gift from God. She also made a point in saying that it does come directly from God, and it's not about our religion. It's about our belief in God. So I thought that was really encouraging.
Yes. Yeah, listening to her, this was the first time I heard her speak. This was the first Young Living event that I've been to, because I did not go to convention last year. And so just hearing her speak, I was texting Jen going, oh my gosh, Mary is such a cheerleader. If you've got her on your side, you would think you could do anything. So she was just very positive and very, she has such belief in everything that Gary does. And her whole intention is just to move the company forward and do what we can do, what God wants us to do.
Yeah, she was to me, whenever I listened to her speak, especially at this particular event, she's witnessed it. She's seen all the things that he's done, right? And so to me, it was a lot she could bring faith to you in that man if you didn't have any already. I mean, just could. So I don't know. It was very inspiring to listen to her.
Yes, it was.
And the next part, Carmen D, actually was up next.
Did everybody watch or used to watch What Not to Wear on TLC back in the 90s, early 2000s? So we all know Carmen D was the makeup artist, and she was on there consistently the whole time. So she apparently, they've contacted her in the past 6 months or so to get her opinion about the makeup. And she apparently is blown away. and really, really loves it. And they had a round table, and the one comment that she kind of had that really just spoke, she was just in awe of the camaraderie and like the sisterhood that was in that room. Even though we had some men in there, there was maybe half a dozen to a dozen at the most. But she was just really in awe of everybody just coming together and celebrating themselves and each other and with these wonderful products.
Yeah, she talked about the sisterhood that she could just see there.
Mm-hmm. And then she had these, she had 5 little steps that she kind of went through that she shared with us. Again, as she kind of went through, as she was saying these, I was hearing Jen tell me a lot of these things too. So like Ali mentioned in the beginning, sometimes you need somebody else to say something and it kind of, oh, wait a minute, I've been told that before. So one of her things was mirror mantras. So to write things on your mirror, whether it's I'm beautiful, I have a good smile, the attribute that people comment on you about, just keep those in your face, on your mirror, so you can see those. She said the next thing that she did, number 2, was her most important, which was to let go of the negativity, that there's nothing good that can come from holding on to negativity. So as Jen likes to say, you have to Elsa it, let it go. And then her third thing was talking about some of the ancient rituals of beautification, that the Egyptians were the ones who used black eyeliner, and in Mesopotamia they were using lipstick. And so the goal with makeup and beauty is to celebrate yourself and to help give you confidence to go out and face the world. And then her next step was to feature focus. So if you don't know what your best attribute is, ask somebody around you. Say, what is it the first thing that you notice about me? And everybody will have something. Oh, I always notice your smile, or your eyes are always really pretty, or your hair is great, or whatever it is. Somebody and everybody will tell you, likely, if it's your feature, they'll tell you the same thing. You'll hear it from multiple people. And so that's the feature that you should really play up. You know, if they say it's your eyes, make sure your eyes are always done. If it's your smile, then make sure you always have your great lipstick on, you know, whatever it is. And then lastly, which was, I think, almost the most important, other than the letting go of the negativity, is contagious compliments. That because of all the negativity in the world and the, what is it called? The compare and despair game that lots of us play on Facebook. So not to be comparing yourself to others. And, but contagious compliments are when you intentionally go out of your way to say, Mary Bell, I love your laugh. I love it when you blow me kisses on Marco Polo. Jen, I love it when you always have your hair pulled back and you're calling me from a run. You know, Lisa, I love your curly hair because I've got my curly hair. You know, things like that. Just intentionally reaching out to people and saying that to others because you're speaking life into them. And who knows if they've just had the worst day in the world, and that one compliment can just turn their day around. So.
I like your laugh, Trish.
Thank you, Ali. I like your beautiful skin.
Thank you. Sheri Ross is a Royal Crown Diamond. She was our next speaker. She had lots to say. I did post a little snippet of her, I believe, in our We're Oily. But the 2 things that we wanted to focus on tonight are, she gave us top 3 things that rebuild and restore skin's healthy foundation. One is collagen. You can get that from Angeles and BLM. Mm-hmm. The second one is hyaluronic acid. And you can get that from the Renewal Serum, Boswellia Cream, the Art Beauty Mask, Cream Mask, and the Wolfberry Eye Cream. And then the third item is saw palmetto. You can find saw palmetto in the prostate health supplement, even though most of us here don't have prostates. It is actually not a hormone disruptor, she says. So help to retain healthy foundation of skin, those things. The other one item that we wanted to mention is she redefined the word beautiful. And she says, be you till full.
Yeah. So be yourself until you satisfy yourself. Yeah.
Shelley Garrett, she talked about how to build success. We're just kind of running through some of our speakers. I know that we did a lot of the beauty first, and we'll get to some other educational parts, but we're just going to kind of run through. It helps my green brain to run through them in order, or I will get lost, and Trish knows this because I was about to forget when I lost my list of how we go. So Shelley Garrett is a diamond. I really have no idea where she is or who she's under. But she had a really great presentation. She had a YouTube video, and one of the comments in the YouTube video that she started with was saying no to yourself one day might push your dream back 6 months. So I thought that was kind of powerful in the fact that stop saying no, right? Let's go get it, whatever your dream might be. She also says to give yourself permission slips, and along with that, a little bit of grace. Allow yourself to fail without having regret. You do need to figure out who your people are, though, right? The people that say, okay, but are not those people. You need to find your cheerleaders. You need to go to those people, find who your people are whenever you're struggling with, hey, I've got a lot on my plate. Do you know of any places that I can help out? Can you find some open areas where I can do these extra things? But those people that say, okay, but are not your people. And what that spoke to me was, don't be that person, right? How many times I'm like, yeah, Trish, you're doing great, but no, don't do that. You're not that person's person. She also mentioned to know your vision and your why, and don't be ashamed of it. Her vision wasn't the same as everybody else's. Oh, I want to feed a family of 10 people, blah, blah, blah. No, she wanted to help pay for things for her house and her income and her husband to come home. Like, that was her vision. That was her why. And it wasn't as extravagant in others people's. And she started to feel a little bit self-conscious about that. Don't be ashamed of your why. So that was one of her topics. And even if you do have a full-time job, Young Living is a part of your life, and you don't need another time, a separate time to share it. Do it within your everyday life. However, if you don't intentionally plan and have a conscious effort, you won't build success. So if you don't intentionally plan, you'll look up in 6 months and you'll still be in the same place with no progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Choir.
That's a lot of us. That's why I think she really kind of spoke to me and Trish. I mean, Trish wasn't sitting in there, but when I kind of said some of the things that she did say, it was very powerful. Courtney Cripe is also a Raleigh Crown Diamond. Have no idea where it lays with people, but she was very motherly. It was very much, I felt like, and I told Trish this before we hopped on, it was more of a celebration of women and how to treat ourselves and others, and to forgive ourselves and other people. Share with other women to build them up. Let's not tear each other down. One of the things that she said is, if you don't like who's staring back at you in the mirror, because the person that looks back at you is as you're aging is someone else that you know, right? If you don't like who's looking back at you in the mirror, make peace with that person. We got raising of the hands from Jen. Make peace with the person that's staring back from you in the mirror.
Yes.
We don't want you to just use the product. We want you to be whole. We don't want you to use the product and then actually be really depressed on the inside. We want the whole you to work well. She says to call beauty out in others, like Carmen D was mentioning, and don't be too lazy to do it. She says, go to the people that when you walk in the room, go to the people that look like they are hurt, and what can you do about that? Go to the people that look like they need a friend and go and be that friend. Don't go where you're comfortable. She says, sometimes I wake up and I feel a little self-conscious or I need some encouragement. On those days, I text a handful of people that I think might need some encouragement or are feeling self-conscious that day. By the end of the time that I'm messaging people, I feel better. And they text me back and say, man, how did you know I need that today? I just think that's great. You're totally looking at what other people's needs are.
Yeah. One of the best ways, most of us know, one of the best ways to help yourself when you're feeling down is to serve others. And that's just, it takes the focus off of you and puts your focus on others, and your eyes are opened.
Right. She also challenges us to find somebody to speak truth into you and to look at yourself in the mirror and read Psalm 139. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Through the whole Psalm, stare at yourself in the mirror, because that is truth to you. Mm-hmm. She also teaches her young daughters that whenever you're going out or going to do something, when you look in the mirror, you ask yourself different questions. Do a mind shift. And talks about, do I look healthy? Do I look appropriate for where I'm going? Those types of words. Use that instead. She also says, don't choose your wallet over your health, guys.
Jen's like, preach.
Yeah, apparently you're preaching to Jen.
Apparently.
Oh, man. So Sarah Johnson.
Yes.
Is also a Royal Crown Diamond. We just had we had one Royal Crown Diamond after another speak to us. It was crazy.
Exactly. It was amazing.
Trish, do you want to start on this one?
Yeah, Sarah Johnson, her whole presentation was about love it, share it, build it to last. And, by the end of this conversation by the end of her talk, it relates a lot to, if you are a Christian and you have your own testimony, it relates a lot to that. So the goal is every one of us in Young Living, we have that aha moment as to when we got started and what it was and why we started down this path. So to practice that story, your elevator pitch, practice that story, and then know what that one product was that either got you hooked or helped you, or and just keep building on that. You're like, okay, well, I got into Young Living because I wasn't sleeping well and I didn't want to, go have a CPAP machine or something. So I wanted to try oils. Okay. And so then they started working. According to my Fitbit, they started working. So now I'm using them more and more. And then 3 months later, well, now I've started using this EndoFlex thing and my heels are no longer all dry and cracked and whatnot. Now I'm starting to use, you just keep building on your testimony. And if you are looking to be a business builder, to have ideas as to what you want your team to look like, the words, the adjectives that you want for those people in your team, like you want loyal members, you want honest members, you want people that others will find trustworthy, and those that were always seeking knowledge and willing to grow and to put in the work, and then to just continually plan for how you want your business to look down the road. So I know a lot of us are relatively, young in the business or don't have a big, huge downline yet. But she was talking, of course, she's an RCD, so she's talking, 5 and 10 years down the road. Right. So, and I know when you're building your legs, they're like, you only need to look like 2 ranks ahead. But we all know Jen's probably like, nope, we're all diamonds. We're all going there. So just keep looking forward.
Yeah, she did talk about your product testimonial and sharing that with people. The biggest thing that I got, she did talk about, adjectives, just describing what your team's going to look like in 5 years. What I got out of it though, was that you need to ask other people their health goals and help them self-educate about what products will help with those goals. And then put those products in your ER for the next 3 months. Use those products every day for 90 days and journal every day on how you're using the products and what it's doing for you. That to me was not only will we get testimony from that, from what we're doing for our health goals, but other people, they'll get their testimony for their health goals. And you get people on ER. I mean, is that not the best way to approach ER? What is your health goals? And let's do this for 3 months. Because statistically, I heard somewhere that if you have somebody on ER for 6 months, they will be on it for life. I don't know where I heard that, but I heard it. Now I remember things like that and I can't quote it. I'm sorry. But that was the biggest thing. I was like, are you serious? Of course. Yes, everybody needs to be on ER. And this is a good way to do it. Oh, did that help with your health goals? Great. Let's set another one and do it again. But anyway, so she did talk about the product testimonial. I've seen somebody on 12 Days of Diamonds. I told you I was going to squirrel on 12 Days of Diamonds that talks about crafting your compelling success story. It's more geared toward a business testimonial. If you're looking for business builders. So that's another topic, just FYI.
Another topic for another day.
Right. Well, since we were talking about testimonials, I thought I'd just slide that in there.
There you go.
The next person that spoke is one of the most overwhelming, I'll tell you. And me and Trish have went back and forth on this a lot. So this is Jen's, what do we call it? Spirit animal, otherwise known as Deborah Rayburn. Yeah. And so her talk was about feed your skin. There was a roundtable session and Mary was asked the question, how do you stay so young looking, Mary? You look so good. And she says, it starts with what you put in your body. So there's a lot that Deborah went through. A lot of the content came out of the Nutrition One-on-One book that she has. I'm just going to tell you, I looked it up. It's $85, y'all. I was like, okay. I bet I could learn a lot from that book just from sitting through a 45-minute spiel from her. Yeah, I bet I learned a lot from that book. So she did mention, guys, it is a choice of what you put in your body. Young Living has taken care of skincare, cosmetics, check, check, check. Supplements, check, check, check. But they're not your grocery store. You have to make that decision. So there's a lot that can be covered in this area. We're going to give you some examples of what that feed your skin, but not necessarily what foods they come in. You'll have to look up healthy foods for these things. So first thing on her list is antioxidants. They help fight aging, and they tackle free radicals that you're exposed to all the time. Yep. Ningxia. Vitamin A reduces free radical damage, especially with excess exposure to the sun, protects and promotes cell turnover, and reduces appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, scaly and flaky looking skin, She suggests that you don't take a supplement for vitamin A because it's fat soluble vitamin. And so the body stores that and doesn't eliminate it. Therefore, you need not to overdo the supplement. It's taxing on your liver. So get your vitamin A's from your food. You can see a lot of these things are, they turn into beta carotene from your liver, and therefore you get that orange color. So you can kind of think of the foods that you would get, like when people are on a carrot juice fast, that kind of thing. Vitamin C is another powerful antioxidant, and it is the number one nutrient for collagen production. It makes skin feel more supple, firm, healthy. It reduces the the oxidative stressors, which cause signs of aging, like discoloration in the skin. Vitamin E, another powerful antioxidant. It's important for heart health. It also fights free radicals that are coming from pollution in the air, sun damage, smoke, and processed foods. Another fat-soluble nutrient. But remember, guys, unchecked free radicals equals the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Pine nuts happen to be in this category for vitamin E, and her tip was pine nuts can be an alternative to cheese and dairy, which I didn't know, and I was looking for. Biotin and thiamine are both part of the vitamin B family. Biotin converts fatty acids to compounds for healthy skin, hair, and nails. Hair biotin. We always hear that. So you need to find that in your foods. Thiamine is known as the mood vitamin, so some people might need more of it. And it also converts food to energy for supporting your healthy skin. Copper, you don't need a lot of it, but it manufactures enzymes that are involved in collagen formation, so you definitely need it. Don't necessarily need a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's also needed to produce the SOD antioxidant, which we'll talk about a little bit later. You can find this in sesame seeds, and the reason I point this out is because she says pound for pound, they have more calcium and protein. She suggests that adding sesame seeds, chia seeds, things like that to your morning smoothie. If you don't, you're doing your body a disservice. Selenium is another antioxidant trace mineral you don't need a lot of, but it is responsible for maintaining firmness and elasticity, providing a more radiant and resilient, glowing skin. Essential fatty acids, avocados. We're in Texas, y'all. Come on now.
Guacamole.
Yeah. Let's eat that guacamole because it manages that high cortisol level. And let's just be honest, our lives are filled with stress. You have too much stress. Increasing your cortisol levels relates to those fine lines in a belly. Let's see here. SOD is the superoxide dismutase, which is a powerful antioxidant. Primary role is to slow down the aging process. It is created by the SOD1 gene, but our body can produce more with the copper-rich foods, vitamin E foods, manganese, and zinc. Zinc is also a trace mineral, but zinc actually makes up 6% of our skin. It protects from harmful UV rays and may assist in increasing the vitamin A levels in our skin. So those are the things that she talked about, all the way from antioxidants down to zinc. Mm-hmm. She does say, though, that the most damaging foods to our skin is sugar. It increases the bad bacteria in our gut and suppresses your immune system. Also, you know how we take that Super C, but you eat sugar also? Sugar actually blocks the vitamin C receptors. They're so similar that it blocks it. The other items are alcohol, salt, and caffeine. They're all dehydrating in their own ways, which I'm sure everybody understands. But caffeine can actually raise cortisol levels as well. So her suggestion is to drink more water, eat less sugar, get the chemicals off and out of your home. You don't really have an excuse with Young Living, and start using, eat better, start using the Young Living sunscreen.
And she's the one, Allie, right, who she eats a teaspoon of sugar a week.
She challenged us to eat a teaspoon of sugar a week only if you have to.
Yeah. That's
Everybody's like, what are you talking about? Jen's over like, yeah, praise Jesus. Mm. Yeah, it was very interesting. I'm telling you, she is the spirit animal to Jen.
She was, definitely.
Dr. Sabina DiVita is a crown diamond. She discussed a lot about how you need to choose what's going to be beauty to you. Are you going to choose what beauty is, or are you going to let the tabloids choose what beauty is for you? Don't be ashamed of your age. You should celebrate your age. She also did discuss a study done by Magda Havas that 80% of our head is filled with negative thoughts. So I know that we know know the law of attraction. What we focus on is what we attract into our lives. But guys, if 80% of our brain is filled with negative thoughts, you're going to have to change the voices in your head, because all you're going to attract is negative.
Yeah. Very true.
Men's panel was towards the end. There was a lot of glitter on the floor up there. So somebody decided to say it looked like a unicorn died up there. It was comical. It was very comical listening to them.
Yes.
One thing that I actually got from the Thieves line, and it didn't come in the men's panel, but I thought I'd mention it here, was I know that I missed a little bit of part of what Trish said about Orange Blossom, but in the same to that, as we're talking about teenage skin and the things that kind of come up around that time, the Thieves toothpaste, I heard, might do wonders for that also on those areas of your skin.
Yes. Yes, it will. Just like Jen loves it for her pit. You can also put it on your face.
Mm-hmm. Jim Goodyear, and had a good, I felt like a good business tip when he's asked what he does for a living. He says, I own my own business and we work from home. We love it. And then he asks, what do you do? It's kind of a volley back and forth. You give them just little snippets of information to make them more and more interested. And you listen to them also as to what they usually come back with. Oh, I work in corporate America and I hate it. Mm-hmm. And so on and so forth. And you kind of give them a little bit of insight with everything that you say.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for us, except for our closing remarks from our lovely leader, Danette Goodyear. We stole this from her. She doesn't know.
This is very true.
She doesn't know. But yeah. Danette says, from natural skincare, healthy nutrition, toxin-free, and gorgeous makeup, beauty starts on the inside by the food we put in, whether it's good or bad, and to the words we speak to ourselves. So that's Trish and I's wrap up for beauty school. Does anybody have any questions
that we haven't addressed in the chat?
Or Jen, do you
unmute everyone?
Think this is a time for needed the recording?
Yep, I'll go ahead and I was just looking for, there was couple questions, but they were answered in the chat about the mask, which ones to use for what. So that was Dee Dee. Thank you so much for sharing your side wisdom over here. We appreciate that. Ladies, that was
absolutely
awesome. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, beauty school, man, I had no idea it was so much on personal development. That is something I think as women, we just don't focus on enough. And so I love that. I saw that Dee Dee said it's on a cruise next year. I'm like, oh, heck to the no. I won't be on that one, but
I'm super excited. I so want to go.
Maybe I'll
Actually,
go.
they have one next week. Next week. So,
They
but
have
then
one-
yes, there's one in 2 weeks. A cruise that's leaving next week, and then Oklahoma City. So they're doing really good about.
Oh,
Yeah, we could totally get Jen to go to the glamping one. I totally think that's going to happen. Not.
I would do the glamping one. I mean, I think my mom's got us something. Okay, I'm going to turn off the recording. If you've watched this later, thank you for joining us. And whoever sent this to you, please tell them thank you. They were being so kind. They care about your beauty inside and out, and they love your skin. So thanks, everybody.